Your daughter is, I saw she's getting very involved in politics.
Yeah, Romy, she's an amazing, she's so talented. I mean, at age 20 years old, I mean, she writes, great photographer, artist. She wrote a whole screenplay by herself and 8 episodes of a half-hour show. Gosh, she's absolutely incredible.
At 20 years old.
At 20 years old, and I've basically now she's, into politics. She tweets and great tweets and stuff. So you follow her on Twitter.
What is she talking about?
Well, I mean, what is she talking about? She's talking about, we're all talking about this nightmare that we haven't woken up from. It's just, it's unbelievable. Every day, it's just an avalanche of horror.
And what is her solution? What does she say?
Well, what's the solution? All you can do is keep your eye on the ball. I mean, the whole thing is that we have to hold this guy accountable. We have to get the truth out.
And we gotta vote.
And it's getting harder. It's getting so much harder now because it used to be that the mainstream media would at least challenge the administration, try to get the truth out. But now you've got like 2 mainstream medias. You got, the Washington Post, New York Times, and all the TV shows. But then you also have Fox and Sinclair and Breitbart and Alex Jones. And so they're like opposite narratives. And how do you break through and what's true? And people are having a really hard time.
Yeah.
And we're under attack. The media's under attack. They call it the enemy of the people. I don't know if you saw what happened today, but a guy went in there to a newspaper office and in Maryland and started shooting people. I mean, so we don't know where this came from, but we've seen Trump say they're the enemy of the people. They're fake news, and so these are the pillars of democracy that have to hold us up. And right now they're being challenged, and that's why I did Shock and Awe, because it's all about holding the administration accountable. There's about 4 journalists from Knight Ridder News in the run-up to the war in Iraq, and they basically got it all right. But they were buried because nobody believed them because they were buying the company line, which was the Bush administration.
And to go to Iraq, and because Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, supposedly he had weapons of mass destruction. Supposedly he had something to do with 9/11. All these things were lies. Administrations always use propaganda to sell a policy or a rationale to go for war. But it's always up to the journalists to keep them honest, and that's their job. There's a clip in the film, and I think one of the lines I have in there is, I don't know if you're going to show it or not, but I talk about how when the government says something, there's only one question you have to ask: is it true? And that is what the journalists have to do. But now it's more difficult than ever to get to the truth and inform the public, because unless the public is informed, we don't have a chance to hold this democracy together. So we're fighting, and, hopefully we will, because we love this country and we don't want to see it devolve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great cast, by the way, in Shock and Awe. I love Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, no, he's the best.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I just love seeing him. And Woody
yeah.
Harrelson, Jessica Biel, we love anyways, we have a clip. Here's Rob Reiner, James Marsden, and Woody Harrelson in Rob's new film, Shock and Awe, in theaters July 13th. Check it out.
If every other news organization wants to be stenographers for the Bush administration, let them. We don't write for people who send other people's kids to war. We write for people whose kids get sent to war. So when the government says something, you only have one question to ask. Is it true?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's it. Now,
I love seeing you act as well.
Yeah, and now the truth is, I wasn't supposed to act in this film. Alec Baldwin was supposed to play that part, and we had actually rearranged the schedule so he could come back on Fridays to do Saturday Night Live, to do Trump. And two days before he was supposed to come, and we had been shooting for a week with Woody Harrelson and Tommy Lee Jones, he said, I can't make it. They got a call from the agent. He says, I have to drop out. I can't do it. I said, oh, my God. It's 2 days before we're shooting. I don't know what to do. So my wife, Michelle, who is one of the producers on the film, she says, well, why don't you play the part? part. And I thought, what? I don't like acting and directing. It's kind of a split focus. But then I thought, I'm available, and I work cheap, you know. So I said,
The
okay,
double whammy.
yeah, I would do it. And you have to understand, I'm playing a guy named John Walcott in the movie. So one direction my wife gave me was try to be a little less Jewish. So. I don't know if I pulled that off.
You did a great job. You did a great job. Rob Reiner, everybody.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on and on and on.